The widow of Robert F. Kennedy and a fierce human rights advocate has died. We'll look back at her life. And how one community is remembering a teenager killed in a car crash.
Analysts quiet on live pinpoint Doppler radar, but there is a small rain chance somewhere in the forecast. Details in a few minutes.
Mountain News, first at 4, continues.
The Magoffin County area is mourning the death of a high school senior, with those who knew her saying she was just taken too soon. Magoffin County high school senior Kayla Elim died Sunday after a car crash, leaving behind a community and classrooms full of people to remember the person she was. The school took time today to remember Elim, releasing a single balloon during a prayer circle.
Kayla was one of ours. For the teachers, obviously she's one of our students, and then for her classmates, she was one of their friends. And so to lose someone, anyone, it's total shock. It's been total heartbreak.
Classes are canceled in the county tomorrow to allow students and staff to attend Elim's funeral. We'll have more about how the school is remembering her tonight at 6. Ethel Kennedy, the widow of Robert F. Kennedy, who became a prominent human rights activist, has died at the age of 96 after suffering a stroke last week. CBS's Bradley Blackburn reports on a life marked by tragedy and the legacy she leaves behind.
Ethel Kennedy lived a life full of both profound loss and remarkable resilience. A millionaire's daughter who married Robert F. Kennedy in 1950, she was by his side when he learned his brother, President John F. Kennedy, had been assassinated. And then when he was assassinated after winning California's Democratic presidential primary in 1968. At the time, she was pregnant with the couple's 11th child.
Personal tragedy is a huge part of her story, and I think what she'll be remembered for.
Soon after her husband's murder, she founded the Robert F. Kennedy Center for Justice and Human Rights, where for more than 50 years she advocated for causes including gun control and human rights. In 2014, Kennedy was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by then-President Barack Obama, whose candidacy she supported. During her son Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s recent run for president and subsequent backing of Donald Trump, she did not comment publicly. In a statement posted on social media, her daughter Carrie Kennedy wrote, "Her mother was a devout Catholic, and they are comforted in knowing she is reunited with the love of her life, their father, as well as other members of the family." Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Ethel Kennedy suffered additional personal tragedies, including the deaths of her parents in a 1955 plane crash and the deaths of 2 of her children, her son David from an accidental drug overdose in 1984 and her son Michael in a 1997 skiing accident. She leaves behind 9 children, 34 grandchildren, and 24 great-grandchildren.
Now, I hope you had a beautiful Thursday across the area. We had temperatures in the 60s and 70s. We had plenty of sunshine, and there's the latest with live pinpoint Doppler radar. All is quiet across eastern Kentucky, and this will get a break as we go throughout the next few days. For the most part, there is a small rain chance Sunday night going into early Monday morning. But take a look here in Wayne County, courtesy of our Kentucky Mesonet site there. You can see blue skies and temperatures in the 60s and 70s. We're in the 60s from Jackson to Logan, 70s from Hazard to Monticello. Next 12 hours keeps us pretty nice. Look at 7 o'clock, 63 degrees. If you have plans to go out for dinner this evening, a beautiful evening to do so. We'll go to 55 by the 11 o'clock hour, then upper 40s by 5 a.m. And that'll pave the way for plenty of sunshine again for the day on Friday. And it'll be much like Thursday and every other day this past week. We'll start off crisp and cool and then go up into the upper 60s and low 70s. But there are a couple days in the 7-day where the 60s and 70s will kind of feel like a little bit of a heat wave. And I'll tell you when those days will be coming up in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
All right, Eric, thanks. An Ohio man who reportedly brought 4 guns to the Trump International Hotel and Tower in Chicago Tuesday night was arrested. 21-year-old Brandon Peck is facing 2 felony charges as well as a citation after a hotel employee spotted the firearms and alerted the Secret Service. Police say he did not have a firearm owner's identification card nor a concealed carry license. Peck's attorney says he brought the guns for protection. A new study shows most high school students say they had a traumatic experience as a child. According to the study, 3 in 4 high school students had experienced at least one potentially traumatic event. Those events included violence, abuse, or exposure to mental health or substance use problems. Experts say these experiences have been shown to increase the risk of chronic health problems and mental health issues in adulthood. Millions of retirees are getting a raise in the new year. The Social Security Administration announced a cost of living adjustment that will bump up monthly checks starting in January, an average of more than $50. 72.5 million Americans receive Social Security benefits. The 2.5% increase for next year reflects cooling inflation.
The increase is based on the previous year. So if you look at a year where you get a big Social Security cost of living increase, it usually means that the previous year you didn't do so well.
Recipients got a huge bump in 2023 to account for record inflation post-pandemic. Coming up on First at 4, a massive vehicle recall from one car maker as a mechanical issue could lead to steering problems.
And the weather headlines for tonight. The sunny weather is going to continue as we go throughout the weekend. Warmer weekend is in store. We're talking temperatures in some places maybe in the low 80s. The cold weather next week. Details in a few minutes.